This is Deanna.
This is Candice.
And you're listening to
No Fucking Way. What would you say that your least favorite animal is a turtle? Or like an animal that bothers you the most would be a turtle?
Turtles are certain birds.
Oh. What about like a bird that's on the back of a turtle's shell? They're like best friends. They're inseparable.
That's creepy.
Okay. Okay, so you're offered $1 billion.
Oh, here we go. Here we go again.
And you're also like immortal. You're gonna like live the rest of your life. If you run out of $1 billion, you get another $1 billion. But the rest of your whole entire life, there's a turtle with a bird on its back, and they're after you. And if they touch you, then you die. And you can't kill them. You can't put them in a cage. You can't like do anything to them. But at turtle speed, like this is not like a super powerful magic turtle, just at turtle speed, your whole life, wherever you fly, wherever you drive, when you go to sleep, when you're eating, this turtle is just like coming towards you. The rest of your life.
Yeah, I could defeat that. That'd be easy.
Are you really thinking about the whole rest of your life though? Like you get on a plane to go somewhere with your $1 billion and the turtle's in the seat behind you.
In the aisle.
Yeah, the turtle's coming down the aisle. You have to move seats. Like you actually have to think like, and then you have to explain to this flight attendant, this turtle can't touch me. I have to move seats. When you go to
like,
sleep.
Why is there a turtle on the plane? I'd complain. I'd be like, get this fucking... I'm complaining. Call animal control. There's a turtle on the plane.
Turtles on the
This
plane.
is unsanitary. I'm going to get salmonella.
When you go to sleep, you have to set your alarm for like every hour because that's how long it takes for the turtle to like.
So I just never know where the turtle might come up.
He's always there. You can like run. The turtle will be at your house and you can take a cab and you can go somewhere else. But then like the turtle is also gonna get there eventually.
But it's gonna take him for so long.
But he's always coming. He's always coming. You can leave, you come back home.
Can someone else touch the turtle?
No. It's just your special turtle with the bird on his back.
Oh, I can't. I can't touch him with a grabber.
No, what are you gonna do to him? You can't kill him.
Fucking throw him somewhere.
You can't do that. You can't touch him. You can't touch him. If he touches you,
can I build a contraption that would fling him?
No. You just have to accept, like, I got this $1 billion, and this turtle is always going to be after me. I can't do anything about it. If you build a contraption that flings him, then your money's gone. It depletes. It's gone.
I would take my $1 billion and I would build like a turtle paradise, and he wouldn't want to leave it. You know, he'd like just be obsessed with like this turtle paradise I created for him. Whatever turtles like, I don't know. And the bird too, you know, like whatever birds like, put bird seed in there, and they would be so happy in that little, and it wouldn't be an enclosure, you know, it would just be, they would prefer to be there. They wouldn't be worried about me.
And then he would be there for so long, he would get all the other turtle friends on his side, and they would all be after you. Okay, and have we asked this before? If you wanted to know time, place, date, and how you would die, would you want to know? Or would you want to know just one of them? Or all of them? Or none of them? Or two of them? Year? Month? How?
I don't know if I'd want to know any of it, because I would start getting so much anxiety, I think, prior to that. Like, it'd be kind of, like, you think it would be nice to know so you could do, I know I can do this and that, and I could just whatever, but then what if it's soon, you know?
Yeah.
Because then I would be like, Well, I'd be getting so anxious up until then. I'd probably like die before it of a heart
Right.
attack.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Especially about like date and time. Because then you would assume like, okay, you're gonna die in a car accident this day at this time. What do you do the day before that?
What do you do 5 minutes before that?
Yeah, why do you still go get in the car? Yeah, so no. Or maybe you can't know that much, but what if it's just like month and year and you have no idea how? No?
I don't think so.
Not even year. What if just how?
Mm.
I feel like
I would just always be worrying about like, well, when am I gonna get cancer? Or when am
thing.
I gonna
Yeah.
get in that motorcycle accident that kills me?
Yeah. If it's like you're just gonna die in your sleep, then that's what you would think about every time you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree. I wouldn't want to know any of it.
So what about you? What would you do if you were given $1 billion and the tarantula was after you?
Oh my god. I was about to say I like turtles and birds. That would be fine. I wouldn't take it. I don't even want to see the tarantula. I don't no. I wouldn't take it.
What about like one of those cute little jumping spiders?
Deanna,
But they're
no.
cute.
No, they're not. No, they're not. I just started laughing when you said, "What about you?" And I thought about how cute like turtles and birds are. No, I wouldn't take it.
You didn't know I was gonna flip it around on you with the species.
Nope. Nope. The first one when I read that it was the guy used a snail. I'm like, well, who's scared of snails? But I think it's just more the fact of like it's annoying. It would just be a annoying, daunting, like this fucking slimy snail crawling up my bed sheet kind of
Ew.
thing. Hmm. Do you have anything?
Um,
Thoughts, advice, wisdom?
by the time this comes out, hopefully you've had your kid.
Oh my god. Right. Right? Yeah.
Cause yeah. Yeah, you've had your kid by now. And so I hope that went good.
Oh, thank you. We're doing a double recording.
Yeah.
If it's not obvious that we don't have that much content right now.
Because Candice is gonna be potentially having her spawn soon.
Mhm.
And we're preparing so we have content lined up.
Y'all are welcome.
Yeah, we'd hate to miss an episode.
I really would. I really would hate to. So you're good? Nothing? Ready for me to start?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm just gonna start reading it. Emile Cilliers from South Africa. He was born in 1980. When he was 16, he started a relationship with a 13-year-old girl. Her name was.
Predator!
Mhm,
Pervert alert! I'm just kidding.
mhm. Her
Okay,
name
but
is.
actually, though, what do we think about that? 16 and 13.
No. Because 13 is closer to 12 than 16. 13 is, depending on when her birthday is, 13 is closer to 10 than 16. So the answer is no. Honestly, any teen dating another teenage, I'm just going to say no. Unless they're your same exact age, the answer is no.
Okay.
You both need to be 16 or you both need to be 13. Anyway, her name is Nicolene. And they had their first kid 3 years later when she was 16. And another baby 2 years after that. Ugh. After having babies, teen pregnancy, just the thought of it is so, it feels so like dark.
Yeah. Just
Oh
knowing
my,
like how involved it is.
yeah. And like doing that when you're a child. Oh my gosh. Oof. And I just think like when we used to watch Teen Mom back in the day, like it was so entertaining, but I didn't have kids.
Right.
If I watched that, if it would just be so, it would be so different if I would have had kids. I don't think I would have watched, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. Okay. So anyway, for being so young, Nicolene thought that her and Emile had a good relationship, even though he had cheated on her just a couple of times.
Just a
After their,
couple times.
he's 16. Also like 13-year-olds and 15 and 16-year-olds cheating on each other. It's just such a weird, that's such a weird concept also. So after their son was born in 2002, he traveled back and forth to the UK some and told Nicolene that he wanted to move there. And she's like, "Well, no. Oh my god, she's hardly 20 and she has two kids." So he joins the British Army and he was like, "Well, I'm going to go somewhere." She obviously was devastated. Both their families are like, "Well, what the fuck?" He told no one he was doing this. He just did it. He winds up living in the UK like he wanted by 2004, and he marries a girl named Carly.
Oh.
So he and Nicolene were not married, but hello. I mean, you guys have you guys have been living together and in a relationship together for years, and you have two kids together. He just marries someone named Carly.
But is he
He
still like having a relationship with Nicolene?
yes, but he
Like long
but
distance?
but she's in South Africa, yeah, and he's in the UK, and he's in the
Yeah.
army, and he just gets married in contact with his family. So she's like, okay. He explains, no, you've got it all wrong. I did this to get a visa. And she's like, well, if you could please start telling me your plans in advance, like that would be so great. And also,
Right.
I don't really get the visa. You're there in the army.
Yeah.
Do
You
you?
wouldn't.
You don't.
Un, I don't know. I don't know if you would. I don't know how their army works.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't either. Honestly, I don't either. But the visa,
Like, you can be a non British citizen
yeah,
and be in their army.
I guess he's from he's from
Then
South
that
Africa.
I would think that you would automatically get a visa then.
I also don't know
That's what
like
I
the
would think.
I also don't know the ties with like South Africa and the UK. Like, are they?
Oh, if it's a good relationship.
Well, yeah, or if like, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna sound so stupid with my questions. I don't understand why he needed a visa. I don't get why he needed a visa. And I mean, and Nicolene just is like a little young and naive, and that could also just be some kind of lie. Like he could have explained to her something that he needed it for the army, but really he's just like married to someone else, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And is trying to like give Carly these benefits of him being in the army. It doesn't really make sense. So it's unclear how much time goes by after this whole thing with Carly, but he comes back to Nicolene eventually and he's like, "Oh, things, I got my visa, I'm divorcing Carly, like all is well. Back to you and I." And then later she finds out Emile is in fact still married to Carly and has two kids with her
Oh my
in the
god.
in the UK. So Nicolene gets in touch with Carly. I don't know if Carly knew about her already. I'm assuming not, but she tells her everything. She's like, "I have two kids with him. He told me he was only marrying you to get a visa. I've been with this guy since I was 13 years old." Like, then somehow together they confront Emile. I don't know if Nicolene went to the UK or if it was like a three-way call or something, but Emile's response was, "Well, now finally here we are. Who wants me?" Ugh.
It, neither of
Ultimately,
us.
yeah, I don't know what the outcome was of that, but I'm just trying to tell you that he did not give a fuck at all that these two women knew about each other, nor that they were confronting him in any way. So ultimately, he stayed with Carly, but they did get divorced 3 years later. Just so shocking.
Shocking.
But he had already met someone else named Victoria, even before his divorce from Carly. She was in the Army Medical Corps. They met while she was treating him for his injuries in a skiing accident. Victoria was also divorced, and she was a professional skydiver and instructor in the medical corps, like I said. She had completed over 2,600 skydiving jumps. It was like her thing. So they start dating and actually move back to South Africa, where Nicolene and his first two children live. He and Victoria get married in 2010, and guess what they had? 2 more kids. He's so predictable, this guy. So 6
Are you
kids
sure this guy isn't what's his name?
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon.
Oh my god. What is that? What even is that story? So anyway, Emile and Victoria are in their wedded bliss era. About 5 weeks after the birth of their second child, Emile, as I don't know, maybe like a push present or something, he gifts Victoria a skydiving jump. He arranged it for her. Her whole family is there at this parachute club, their kids. It's like this whole surprise. Emile's being a little suspicious though. His daughter needed to use the bathroom, so he offered to take her, but he took the parachute into the bathroom with them, which is pretty unnecessary. But he said he didn't want Victoria to have like any responsibilities. The day's all about her. Like, this is huge and heavy and it's no big deal. But everyone did notice that, like, that's so weird. Why are you taking the parachute into the bathroom? So the jump actually gets canceled because of the weather. It's rescheduled for the next day, which is Easter Sunday. They get there and the weather still is not perfect, but rather than cancel again, the parachute club offers low altitude jumps so they can like stay under the rain clouds. And there's also, it's not just, I don't think they take like one person up to do a jump. Maybe you can pay for that, but there's like 10 other people there that have the same jump schedule that were all canceled the day before. So they all decide to go up and do this like low altitude jump. So a typical skydive is 9,000 to 14,000 feet. This low altitude one, or I'm sorry, 9,000 to 14,000. And the low altitude one is 4,000. Still a rush. Also, she just had a baby. So
Yeah, how the hell is she cleared to do this?
let's take it down a notch. So they all go up, everything's fine. It's Victoria's turn to jump. She goes. She deploys her parachute in a timely manner, and it immediately becomes tangled. She cuts it loose and deploys the emergency or the reserve chute. That's tangled as well. The
But
reserve chute, what?
they didn't do it with like a guy attached to him? You know, like normally when you
No, I think this, I mean, I don't know the difference in like the clubs, but
Mhm.
she's a professional.
Oh, okay.
She teaches jumping. She is like also an instructor.
Okay, gotcha.
So no, they're alone. So she cuts loose the emergency or goes to deploy her emergency chute, and it's also tangled. The reserve chute that she was using did like break her speed some. It was still working, but she knew it wasn't working well enough for a safe landing. So at 60 miles per hour, Victoria slams into a field. She lives.
That's
60,
amazing.
60 miles an hour from 4,000 feet in the.
And I know we've been over this, but it's crazy that like you can survive hitting the ground at 60 miles an hour, but like I could fall and hit my head on my hardwood
Yeah.
floor the right way and kill myself.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. And I also wonder if the fact that it was a low altitude jump, because if they would have been fall, because I feel like not being as high up, I don't know shit about skydiving or jumping or whatever, but I feel like not being as high up, the minute you jump out, you got to deploy your parachute, which had been breaking her fall kind of the whole time, even though it wasn't working right. Because I feel like
Right, yeah, it's like
from higher up,
helping
you'd
a
be,
little.
yeah, from higher up, you would be falling faster, and then faster for longer. You would like get more speed because you're falling for longer before you deploy it. So she has several broken ribs and fractures, a broken pelvis, injured her spine, and she has a lot of internal bleeding. The club inspects Victoria's parachute to see what went wrong, and they see that the chute was tampered with. And the word they used was sabotaged, and they call the police. The parachutes are sent to the British Parachute Association, who were suspicious about the failures. This is a very like rare thing. In the UK that year, there were 2 million skydiving jumps that took place, and just around 2,000 resulted in someone having to use their like emergency chute, and every time it led them to safety. Like it worked
Yeah.
every time. So this doesn't happen. Both of your parachutes failing without even investigating. They were like, someone did this. There was one time in 2013 when a guy had both parachutes fail and he fell to his death. His chutes were tampered with, but they actually concluded that he had done it himself.
Oh,
Isn't that so scary?
that is scary.
So Victoria, not so much. She did not do this herself. So while they're waiting for the association to give them their take on what they think happened, one of Victoria's friends gets in touch with authorities and she said, "Look into Emile. He undoubtedly he has something to do with this." And they took her claim pretty seriously. But it never once crossed Victoria's mind, and Victoria also did not know that this friend called in with this like little tip. She Victoria's kind of like blaming herself. She's backtracking to see what she did wrong. She hadn't jumped in like a year because she was pregnant, so she was like, I what did I do? I'm like rusty or something.
Yeah.
The Parachute Association comes back and says both chutes undoubtedly were toyed with. The main chute had the lines wrapped around it so it wouldn't pop out like it's supposed to, and the reserve one had 2 lines cut, which made it not functional. But not functional enough because she made it.
Right.
This guy sucks. He can't even sabotage a parachute right. So
Fucking loser.
Emile's arrested on April 8th, 2015, based on the friend's claim that it's inevitable someone messed with the chute. Other family members that were there remembered and noted that Emile had taken the parachute into the bathroom the day before, which was so weird.
Right.
Also, the staff had realized that the day before, when the jump was canceled, Emile shoved the parachute into Victoria's locker rather than turning it back in at the desk where you do, because I'm assuming they check them. Even though you were just there the day before, it got canceled, you brought it back, they still are gonna like inspect the chutes before you go up. And he didn't want them checking hers, so he just shoves it into her locker.
I just like it just seems like it should be mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Right.
have to have your fucking parachute checked.
Right. Like a
It doesn't
checklist.
matter.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
you just say, "Oh, we don't see Victoria's?"
Yeah.
Where's your parachute? Where was your parachute? Where did you get it from? Why didn't we hand it back to you today when you got here? I don't know. I wonder if that also, because like a parachute club, I've never heard of that, but I wonder if this is like such a professional, like she's a professional and like teaches jumping. So I wonder if that also has something to do with it.
Yeah.
So Emile is interrogated for 6 hours. He didn't admit to tampering with her chute, but he was sitting there for so long that he kind of got into like a long conversation about just their relationship in general and was pretty much telling on himself. He complained that Victoria has a low sex drive and that they only have sex twice a week. And
Twice a
that's
week.
even though um he also admitted that he was cheating on her with a girl named Stephanie. He brought up how much debt he was in and that Victoria was not aware of it. He asked if they asked him if he took the parachute into the bathroom at the club, and he was like, yeah, like it wasn't a big deal. But then he didn't get why that mattered. He didn't admit guilt ever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he had an answer for everything. If they asked him something he couldn't remember, he'd just kind of like change the subject or go on a rant about something else. They took his phone and found over 30,000 messages between he and this Stephanie girl from the last 6 months. He told her that Victoria was pregnant with another man's baby, the baby that she had just had. And that was not true. There was nothing super incriminating, other than him saying that he was telling Stephanie that he's going to have more free time after April, and he would do anything to be with her, but not until after April. He was actually talking to dozens of other women, including Carly, who he had divorced. They found out that he was a part of some like private sex club and that he had been paying for prostitutes, hence his debt.
Oh.
So when Victoria talks to authorities finally, and everyone's kind of bringing it to her attention, like, your man did this, she brings up that a week before the jump, they had a gas leak at their house and she was home alone with the baby. So she called 911 because she didn't know what to do. They came out and found a little bit of blood on the valve that turns the gas on and off, and said that it was evident that force had been used to turn the knob. And she's like, well, that's weird. And nothing became of it. So these two, like those police and then these current police investigating the parachute thing, get in contact with each other. And the guys that came out to her house were like, yeah, force was definitely used to loosen the valve based on where the blood was and not to tighten it. So they swipe the blood sample and it's a match to Emile.
Of course it is.
He's then charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. And I felt so bad for Victoria this entire time. Like, what a catastrophic thing to live through. You're a new mom. You're in like a full upper body cast, probably. Unbelievable. And I love to say it, you never really know anyone.
And then think of like, how can you trust anyone after this? You
Right, this
know?
is your husband. Yeah. So I felt very bad for her until,
Oh.
by the time of the trial, Victoria wasn't really cooperating with police anymore, which was frustrating and kind of confusing for them as well. At Emile's trial, she said that she accidentally cut away her own main parachute, that it was her fault, and that she made a mistake. This woman is an
But was
instructor.
she like saying that because he got to her?
I don't know. I don't know. But this is, no matter why she's saying it, like, this is an instructor, a professional jumper for decades.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even like an amateur mistake. That's not a rookie mistake. Like, you don't cut away a perfectly good parachute on
Mm-hmm.
accident. She said that she had an error in judgment. She also said that Emile was only in the bathroom stall at the facility for 5 minutes, because initially she told police that he was in there for about 10 minutes when everyone brought it to her attention that he's being looked into. And her family brought up that he had taken the parachute into the bathroom. And she's like, yeah, that was weird. And he was in there for like 10 minutes. Now she's saying it was actually only 5 minutes. It wasn't 10. So she also said that she forgot she's the one that accidentally hit the gas valve at their home.
No. I
What?
feel like he got to her, like he threatened her or something,
Yeah, what are you
and
doing?
convincing her to say these things, because there's just no way.
I know. This is a statement from her. She said directly, Emile is a passionate, intense, alpha male soldier and sex addict, but he isn't capable of murder.
No, he manipulated her into saying those things.
So, because of her statements, they declared it a mistrial. And at Emile's retrial, because this wasn't brought in the first time, prosecution exposed all of his like sex addiction stuff, his debts, the prostitution, the current woman Stephanie that he was speaking to saying like, I'm gonna have a lot more free time after April because that's when Victoria was supposed to die.
Yeah.
Could it be a thing that Victoria just threw like everyone for a loop in her defense, and like her defense didn't know what she was going to say? Because I would have brought all of that up the first time just for like a stronger case, like all the things against him, like everything in his life. I would have said all that initially. Like, could she have like bamboozled her own if he did get to her and threaten her, and so she goes up there and says something completely different than what their story was supposed to be?
Yeah, so like their intention or their belief was that she was going to go up there and say, yeah, like he was in the bathroom for 10 minutes, blah 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 blah. Like, and then she just decided like the day before or something and didn't
Yeah.
tell them.
Or knew even sooner, because who knows when Emile got to her, but she was just
Yeah.
like,
I'll play it off until
yeah,
trial and then I'll say whatever you want me to say.
yeah.
I mean, that's possible.
But would they not be able to like stop her and be like, objection, like against my own client? Can we talk to you really fast? What the fuck are you doing?
I don't think so. And I think it would depend on the rules there.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
She's as crazy as this guy tried to murder you. Like, there are multiple signs. So, and at first I feel like she did believe that, because she's the one that mentioned like how long he was in the bathroom with her parachute, and she called 911. She's the one that brought up the gas valve situation, which has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with the parachute situation. So at the retrial, he was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 18 years. Another take that I got from your man, Dr. Grande, is that Victoria's claims are truthful, that she set Emile up, and that she knew all about his cheating and knew about Stephanie and
Oh.
all the shit that Emile was involved in, and maybe had some like intense postpartum, and she sabotaged her own parachute and like tried to frame Emile.
That would be like a pretty sick revenge,
Yeah.
you know?
But then there's still the gas valve thing. And then him taking the parachute into the bathroom, she had nothing to do with that. Could that just be like two coincidences? Like he was actually trying to do something nice for her?
No.
By like, no.
What was Dr. Grande's opinion? That he tried to kill her?
Yeah. Yeah. This was just like a fun hot take, but I was like,
Yeah,
that's
he
that's
always does
interesting.
like different
Because I never,
theories about what could
I didn't,
happen.
yeah, I didn't think about that at all. And then
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, maybe she is as crazy as him, because her completely changing her story on the stand, that's cuckoo. So then when he said this, I was like, maybe they are
Just to
both.
me, that just points more to he got in contact with her somehow, or
But like,
got.
what could the threat have been if he's going to jail? Like, what could he have said to her to make her?
I mean, it could be, I know people outside of jail, and I'm going to make sure that they fucking kill you and the baby, if you don't say blah, blah, blah. Or he could have, like, manipulated her and been like, this was an accident, like gaslighting her. Like, this was an accident. This
Yeah,
didn't, I didn't do, I would never do that to you.
Yeah.
Yes, I cheated on you, but I'm a sex addict and
I need
all this
help.
stuff. But yeah, it's because I'm an alpha male. An alpha male would never say that, by the way.
Right. Right. Yeah, I believe the gaslighting a little more than just like trying
A
to prove your
threat.
innocence more so than a threat. Because I'm like, what could he like? You're going to fucking jail. Fuck you. You're trying to
Yeah.
kill me, and you're in dead. What? You can't pay anyone to do anything. Um, but Dr. Grande also told me that this guy had transferred some money from Victoria's savings to his account without her knowledge a few weeks before this too. And when Victoria found out, Emile said that they had been hacked. And so she's like, so someone hacked our accounts and gave you some of my money.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
So there's actually no hard evidence, though, against him. Like, there's no security footage or anything. There's just a lot of sketchy shit that's all added up to make him look bad. So he's in jail for at least 18 years.
I feel like that's like 99% of fucking cases because it feels like there's almost never like hard evidence against somebody. It's always just a bunch of circumstantial shit that you have
Yeah.
to put together.
Yeah. The only thing is, like, who else would have... Like, what if there is someone else? What if like, Victoria was cheating on Emile with a guy that worked at the parachute club, and the guy at the parachute club sabotaged her parachutes? What if she
Yeah,
was
but why
also
would he do
cheating?
that?
Because she's not leaving her husband for him. What if
Yeah, but you
it's
would kill the husband. You wouldn't kill her.
But you're mad at her, not the husband.
But when he's out of the picture, you can be with her.
Look, people do crazy things.
They do. But because of his swindling past, I just think
True.
that he's the one.
Yeah, he is the one. Yeah.
So what
Got
about
him.
her now? Has she said anything since he...
No.
Are they
This is...
still together or...
I don't know, actually. I don't know if
Were
they're
they
divorced.
married or not?
They did get married.
Okay.
2010, and then this was in 2018 is when he was sentenced. I don't know if they're still married, though.
I hope not.
Yeah, I could have looked that up, I guess. Okay, ready for Ender?
I am.
2, 4, 6. I have 7. This week we're gonna do some true or false weird facts. Do you want to just go through yours and I'll go through mine?
Yeah.
Okay. How many do you have?
I actually have 5 sets.
Okay. I don't know
Ready?
why that matters. I don't know why I always ask that when you're just going through your whole list. Who cares?
So this is where I did mine like that, like 2 truths and a lie. Like I'm going to give you 3 facts and one of them's false.
Okay. Oh, I'm so stupid.
They're not. Okay. The Great Wall of China is visible from space. Honey never spoils. And bananas are berries.
The lie is that bananas are berries.
That's what I thought too, but no. The lie is that the Great Wall of China is visible from space.
That's one of those things.
Bananas are berries sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah, I still don't believe you. The Great Wall of China from space, though, is like one of those things that you heard when you're in middle school.
Right, yeah.
It's like right up there with all the other... Fuck.
With Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. Yes,
removing
that's
a rib.
exactly what I was. That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't know why I couldn't think of another thing. I hate that. So it's not true.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Not from not even from like close space.
No.
Okay.
Maybe a certain distance, obviously, but
Okay.
okay. The shortest war in history lasted 38 minutes.
The
Goldfish
shortest
have
what?
shortest war
48 minutes.
38 minutes.
Okay.
Goldfish have a 3-second memory, and elephants are the only mammals that can't jump.
The war one is a lie.
No,
No.
goldfish apparently don't
Oh.
have a 3-second memory. It's the false one. Or 3-second memory.
God.
Yeah. Everything we know is a lie.
Truly.
Lightning never strikes the same place twice. A group of flamingos is called flamboyants. And an ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain.
I think the... What's the first one you said?
Lightning never strikes the
Oh,
same
lightning.
place twice.
I think the flamingo one is wrong. It's a
Nope,
lie.
it's the lightning one.
God damn it. You know what? All the lies are all like my first memory of learning things, and they're all fake.
I know.
It's like the first things I held on to in my brain, and they're not even true.
All right, humans have fewer bones as adults than they do as infants. The Eiffel Tower can be 15 centimeters taller during the summer due to heat expansion. And camels store water in their humps.
The camels one is wrong.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And then, okay, here's my last one. A shrimp's heart is in its head. The average person will walk the equivalent of 5 times around the world in their lifetime. And water spirals down the drain in opposite directions in the northern and southern
Oh
hemispheres.
my god. I know the Eiffel Tower one is true. Is that right?
That
I
was the
think.
last set.
Oh.
The shrimp's heart is in its head. The average person will walk the equivalent of 5 times around the
Oh,
world.
the shrimp. The shrimp. The shrimp is a lie.
No, that one's true. Actually, both of the other ones are lies. Because the average person will walk around the earth 3 times. It's closer to 3 times. So
That's a lot. Okay. Your bumhole has taste buds, and that's why spicy food burns on the way out. Ew. True or false?
false.
True.
I heard Peter say you.
Yeah, be quiet. We're recording.
No,
There
I
are
enjoyed the commentary. You
there
said
are
it's true?
yes, there are taste receptors on your anus, and no scientists like don't know what they're for, but it detects sweet, savory, and spicy stuff. Isn't that bizarre?
That is bizarre.
You spend approximately 20,000 hours in your lifetime looking for misplaced objects.
Probably true.
False.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure there's some allotted amount of time. I just grabbed that out of nowhere. A pre-recording exists for the end of the world, if and when it's needed to be broadcasted.
True.
That is true. Isn't that terrifying?
It feels like it's going to be aired any moment.
It was recorded in like 1980 or something like that, which is scary also because like what happened in 1980 for you to be like we need this on the back
Yeah.
burner. 60 centimeters of human body fat can stop a bullet.
True.
That is true.
Oh.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is widely credited and tied to the invention of the party poppers.
False.
That is false. It's completely made up. Caesar salad was invented in Mexico.
False.
It's true.
Ugh.
The inventor was Italian, but he was an immigrant and he lived in Mexico. My last one, paleontologists have never found a complete dinosaur fossil.
True. No, false.
It is true.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So of all the fossils, of all, like when you go if you see a big dinosaur fossil, like a museum or something, some of it is real and some of it is fake to like make up the rest of the dinosaur. There's not like a whole dinosaur has never been put together.
I think that's like my kind of like dumbest, almost like conspiracy, I guess, is like they just don't know as much about dinosaurs as they let on. That's
I
just
don't
they're so
I
full
don't
of
think so
shit
either.
with a lot of
I
that.
I know. I absolutely agree. And when that's the last fact that I made up, I read about dinosaurs for like 45 minutes after that. Because then, you know how when you type a question into Google sometimes and then it will give you a list of like 10 questions and then you can just keep popping
Yeah,
up and you can just do
the
the
little
little down
arrow.
arrow. I went through every single question. I had so many more questions about dinosaurs because I'm like, and then like dinosaurs have been found on all 7 continents. Like there's not a place where dinosaurs haven't been found. So then I was like, were all the dinosaurs? Because like all the people, like yes, we're all still people, but all the people are different on all the continents. Was there every type of dinosaur on every continent?
But see, I think, and I don't know if I don't know if it's proven, but um, wasn't it like there's like the whole like Pangea thing, which is where all the land was like one mass, and then it like slowly broke apart. So maybe the dinosaurs existed on that one
Oh, all
landmass.
together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And then it like broke apart over time.
yeah. And then I was wondering, are there dinosaur fossils in the ocean?
I'm sure.
Like, have we ever found a dinosaur bones in the ocean of dinosaurs that like fell off
You would
the
think so.
land when they died, or like dinosaurs that swam? Have we even looked? Are there dinosaur fossils under the ocean?
Isn't like aren't alligators and crocodiles, aren't they technically dinosaurs?
I think so.
Um yeah, I don't know.
I could read about dinosaurs forever. It's so
And I
wild.
know that I know that I'm dumb, and yes, of course, that are scientists and they study these things and they're right and I'm wrong, okay? But it just seems like sus to me that they act like they know all this stuff based off of what?
I
A
know.
rock? Get
Yeah,
out of here.
I know.
Oh, based
And
out
like
of what? An indentation in the ground, essentially, is what you're telling me. You know what a T Rex looks like because it made an indentation in something.
and what it sounded like. We just talked about this a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
They're vocal cords. Yeah. And they're like, well, the width of if this bone attached to this bone, then the width of the
yeah. You're
and
just making a
also
guess. You're just pulling this out of your ass.
right, and fucking also, if we've never found an entire all of a dinosaur's bones to put back together, how do you know what they actually looked like?
Yeah.
How did you actually
Maybe
build
he
this?
didn't have a second leg.
Maybe T-Rexes didn't have 3-foot arms.
Yeah.
Just because you haven't found the rest of the bones, they could have had 12-foot arms.
Yeah. What if? Yeah. What if like when they died, like they were kind of like scrunched up, and that's why their arms look shorter than they
Yeah.
were, but they were really like 2 times longer.
Right. Yeah. And like this tooth is from a bronchiosaurus. What the fuck?
Get
No,
out of
you
here.
don't. I know you don't. I don't care how long you've been reading about dinosaurs. You don't know that this belonged to a bronchiosaurus. It's a bronchiosaurus molar. Come on. I hate it.
And Cody was telling me the other day, like, they found out something about the way a T-Rex, like, could see, that they could see better than like, X amount of times better than an eagle. And so he would see you, like, so far away and all that stuff. I'm like, how do they know that? How do they know what his eyes were like? They don't even have the eye.
I know.
You can't even look at it.
I know.
Do they? They didn't find a T-Rex eye. How would that survive?
No. No. No.
That would have disintegrated by now. That's a cloud
Yeah.
of dust.
Right. Unless they're like, this is a mummified in perfect condition because it was in the ocean in the fresh waters of
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
So yeah,
maybe they did. Maybe they did find that. I don't know.
no, that belongs to a whale. That's not a dinosaur's. Ugh. I could read so much about it. I love it so much, but I'm also like, how do you know that?
Yeah, I know.
Fun read, yeah, but how do you
You're
know
like,
that?
okay,
Okay.
whatever.
Oh my god. Okay, well, thanks for listening.
Yep. See you next Tuesday.
Goodbye.
Bye.